RV frames have gotten a well-deserved reputation for being flimsy and breaking a lot. I'm an RV technician, and I have spent the last couple of years looking at ways in which they break. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 specific towable RV frame features that you'll want to look for when shopping. If you're new here, my name is Jacob. I'm an RV technician, and I have a bunch of free resources on my website, including my free 10-step guide for avoiding lemon RVs. The first thing that you want to see on a towable RV frame and suspension setup is what I call a spring hanger brace. If it's a torsion axle or independent suspension, it will not have this feature, but this is applicable if you have the most typical leaf spring suspension. One of the common places that frames break is this leaf spring hanger attachment. Sometimes the hangers get ripped off the I-beam, sometimes they tear a chunk of the I-beam off with them. Where the leaf spring bolts on to the bottom of the I-beam, there's a bracket that holds that leaf spring. That's the spring hanger. Inside of that bracket, better built RVs have a small L-shaped piece of metal, a little triangle that's welded inside of this hanger. Axles actually flex left and right as you go down the road, and especially when you're backing up if you turn tightly. This puts a lot of left and right stress on these spring hanger brackets, so they really benefit from this inside brace. This leads me to the second thing that you want to see when you're looking at an RV frame. This would be a cross brace between the leaf spring hangers. No bracing left to right. Won't impact you much if you don't travel much, but if you're wanting to do some serious RVing, drive a lot across the country, the spring hangers might actually rip a section of the I-beam off of the frame. What Lippert actually specifies in these situations is welding a extra tube brace between the leaf spring hangers. I can call this the Lippert fix. And sadly, most RVs are not coming with this feature. Lippert is a weird company in my opinion. They build whatever manufacturers want them to build. I've seen one fifth wheel manufacturer out there that already had the Lippert fix welded in from the factory. This has become such a big problem, such a common problem, that MORryde has actually created a bolt-on solution called their X-Factor brace to try and stabilize these leaf spring hangers against left to right movement. This is why I recommend the MORryde X-Factor brace for virtually all towable RVs. And no, I'm not sponsored by MORryde. This is just such a common problem and such a good solution to it that I really think anyone with a towable RV would benefit from having this bolted on. I don't take sponsorships on this channel because I want to keep my opinion completely unbiased. But if you want to support my channel, you can buy my RV shopping course. If you take it, you will become a salesman's worst nightmare, an educated shopper. I had a salesperson tell me once that the cheapest cabinets you can get, just plastic covered MDF, was real maple wood. It was vinyl clad lumber core, like it was a plastic sticker she was petting so affectionately. I don't think this was intentional on her part. I think she just really didn't understand the quality of the materials she was looking at. My shopping course will empower you to be able to tell what RVs are quality and which ones are just overpriced junk. The third thing that you want to look for on a towable RV frame would be shock absorbers. There are a few, I mean very few, RVs on the road that come with shock absorbers from the factory. RV manufacturers don't put shock absorbers in because they know that no one's supposed to be riding in the trailer while you're driving down the highway, so you never really experience how much all the stuff in your RV is getting tossed around as you drive down the road. It's also more expensive for them to add shocks, and they're in this cutthroat competition with each other to try and give RVs at the cheapest price possible. If you've ever been in a vehicle with no shock absorbers, then you might understand how unpleasant the ride is. Truth is, your RV is bouncing down the highway and rattling around, and because of the way it's bouncing, it's going to be moving your tow vehicle around. Shock absorbers on the trailer will provide for a smoother towing experience, better traction if you're trying to brake in bumpy conditions, and it will be less prone to wind pushing it around as you drive down the road. It's not an essential feature, but it is definitely a higher quality feature. You can have them added on. There's many companies that make kits for adding shock absorbers. The fourth thing that you really want to look for is upgraded shackle links. And this is something that I'm most concerned about on any toy hauler and any triple axle trailer or fifth wheel, because they have a much higher cargo carrying capacity. If you don't have the proper thickness of shackle links to support all the weight, when this breaks, your RV frame will just fall down on the axle. Your suspension has no more stability. Like, axles can start to move sideways and get ripped off in certain conditions. This can be a pretty catastrophic issue. If you're wondering what a failing shackle link looks like, if you see the bolt hole at the edge of the bolt here, this thing is stretched out a lot and is on the edge of failure. The fifth and final thing I would encourage you to look for would be normal outriggers. Oh my gosh, Keystone and Heartland have been guilty of putting these stupid square spacers on the tips of the outriggers underneath slide outs, and guess what? It twists and bends over time and creates gaps so it doesn't even support the floor under the slide out anymore. It's a dumb design. Click here if you want to watch me go undercover to review RVs at dealerships, or click here if you want to watch my video about the 10-step process for avoiding lemon RVs.